Facebook ads for 2026. What we're going to cover today is why Facebook is the smartest machine ever made for advertising, the campaign, what it is, the ad set, what it is, the ads, the pixel. I'm finally going to explain exactly what the pixel is. I'm going to explain the goal, leads, sales, and engagement, the only 3 types of ads that we run. I'm going to talk about budget optimization. This is a big thing. I'm going to talk about the target, how to hit only the real locals, the gun rule, creative, images versus videos, and the 5x5 rule, which is a free split testing offer from Facebook. Start today's journey here. Let's start with wins. Who's got some wins that they want to share? I'm going to share a win. Sean just launched his 2A day ads, and he spent $23 and earned $94 with his first couple of signups. So that was a win. And what other wins do we got? I don't see anybody racing to the mute button. That's indicative that, look, it's June, guys, right? In June, it's summertime. Adrian says, speaking of wins, when will you announce the winners for the Google reviews? So I have had my AI on this for like 2 days straight. And so yesterday closed out the winners of AI reviewed competition. And so we will be, as soon as my AI gives me a correct collection. Yesterday, it gave me this collection of it said that somebody had 2,000 reviews since then, and this just was not right. So let me check in on it. I think it's still running right now.
And in Andy's defense, the vote counting is as accurate as California ballot counting.
Oh, that is such good timing right now.
Being from California, I could say that.
Let me check on it.
The only reason I care is because my team is like, did we win? And I'm like, I don't know. I have no idea.
How many did you get, Adrian?
So the problem is we don't have the emails set up. Because they were just annoying, to be honest. And I submitted a screenshot when we had us all sign up, and I don't remember how many it was that I had initially submitted. It was somewhere around 800, and we have over 1,000 now. So they've worked really hard on it, but I can't remember the exact amount we had when we started. But
well, we're gonna do our best. I will. I've got my AI on it. When Toby left, one of the things he took with him was the screenshots that you all submitted. So the AI has to go to your original Google and Facebook listing, and it has to count up your new reviews from 90 days ago until today, and it has to give me that tally, and it just keeps failing. So I will have that shortly, but I cannot wait to announce the winner. Look forward to that here shortly.
Do bribes count?
Well, the pot is $500. So if the bribe is over that, maybe we can work something out, John.
That's a good investment.
Well, good to see you guys. Listen, we're going to kick off a new series, right? I had a lot of questions this week, a lot of very in-depth questions from Caleb and others who are, as we get more sophisticated, we really need to get to run our own Facebook ads. So this is for Josh, it's for Sean, it's for Amanda and JB and Tammy and anybody that's running Facebook ads. I'm going to go through a foundation series, just like I did with email, so that anybody can get to a point where they can run Facebook ads. And, this is a conversation that I had with a few people this week. And so we're going to kick this off. Now, I do want to just say a quick announcement. We have 2 new coaching members. Jason Tanksley is on the call, and I don't see if Ken McNeely is on the call, but he is also new. Jason, why don't you go ahead and unmute and introduce yourself? Just tell us where you're at, what you're looking to get out of the program, and what you do.
Hey guys, Jason Tanksley here, Ground Zero Training Solutions. I'm in East Tennessee, Southwest Virginia, right there on the border. So I've been in the business just under 2 years. I'm pretty brand new to this. Ran across Andy's stuff about a year ago and was just blown away by what he's doing. Attended the workshop there in Knoxville last Saturday and just made the commitment. Already so much content. I feel like I'm drinking from a fire hydrant and looking forward to getting all this implemented and going from there. But yeah, that's a little bit about me and excited about the journey here.
Well, Jason, we're glad you're here. We're going to be in Dallas next for the next workshop and then Colorado Springs after that, and then quite a few more after that. So I appreciate you being my guinea pigs up there in Knoxville. So back to it. It is Facebook Ads Day. And so I'm going to be giving this presentation a little bit differently. I'm actually sitting here instead of my screen because it's going to be easier for me to share my screen and actually dive into Facebook ads rather than trying to show you the screenshots. Every time I try to show you an image on the screen, it comes out blurred on the camera. And so I'm going to be sitting here for most of it. There will be a couple of times where I have to get up to the board, explain a few items, but for the most part, I'll be sitting here sharing my screen. So that said, I'm also going to share the screen a little bit differently. And so I have designed the PowerPoint to have all of the data pretty much on the side instead of right smack in the middle. So this is Facebook ads for 2026. This is a 3-part series. to lay a foundation so that we can advertise on Facebook and have the best possible return on investment. And I want you guys to know all of the nitty-gritty details about what goes into advertising on Facebook, so you don't have a box or a PowerPoint or a part of it that you don't know about. And so we're going to kick this off here. Let me just align my screen and we're going to go to the next slide here. So what we're going to cover today, if we get through it all, is why Facebook is the smartest machine ever made for advertising. I know not a lot of us know that, but I really want you to be able to really understand why it is in 2026 is so smart. The campaign, what it is. The ad set, what it is. The ads. The pixel. I'm finally going to explain exactly what the pixel is. It's basically your ad's secret tracking brain. I'm going to explain the goal, leads, sales, and engagement, the only 3 types of ads that we run. I'm going to talk about budget optimization. This is a big thing. Conversion, campaign budget optimization, or ad set budget optimization, and the local ad secret that I just used in Knoxville to knock it out of the park with 72 hours worth of advertising and $1,000 spent. I earned quite a bit more in cash collected and even more residual through the invitation. So we'll talk about that as well. I'm going to talk about the target, how to hit only the real locals, the gun rule, when to use social issues versus regular ads, creative, images versus videos, and the 5x5 rule, which is a free split testing offer from Facebook debuted. And so the first question is why Facebook ads, right? And Facebook is the smartest marketing algorithm ever created. It's literally watched billions of people for over 20 years, and it's collected all the data all the time. It knows what they click, it knows what they watch, and more importantly, what they buy. And even more important than that, it knows why they click and why they watch and why they buy. So it's not like a billboard where you're advertising to everybody that just drives by it. It's a super smart robot to find your buyer. So when I say Facebook during this presentation or ever, what I really mean is Instagram feeds, stories, reels, threads, Messenger, audience network. When I say Facebook, I mean the entire Meta platform. I haven't really taken the time to start saying Meta. I say Facebook because I've been saying it for 15 years. Old dogs learn new tricks kind of thing. But when I say Facebook, I mean the whole platform. So your ad can show up in all of these places automatically by default. Unless you change that, it's going to go to Instagram, Threads, Messenger, and the audience network. So every ad is built like a sandwich, and you need all 3 layers of the sandwich, and they stack in order. The 3 levels of every ad are the campaign, which is the top slice of the bread, right? That's your goal. This tells Facebook what you want people to do. Then it's the ad set, which is kind of the meat, the cheese, the innards, right? Who and how much. So the ad set is who are we targeting and how much are we going to spend. This tells Facebook who sees the ad and how much to spend every day. And then the bottom part, right? The bottom bread is the actual ad. This is what they see on their devices. This is the actual photo, video, headline. This is the button on their phone. And when we talk about the 3 levels of ads, what I want you to see is those 3 levels of ads are here in your ad campaign. And so the way that your ad campaign is set up is you've got the top level, which is your campaign. Then you've got the middle level, which is your ad set. And then you've got your ads, which are right here. So we can mouse between all 3 of them, the campaign level, the ad set, and the ad level. Campaign, ad set, ad. So campaign is goal. Then who are we targeting and how much are we going to spend? And then the ads, the actual creative that they see. Okay, that's how this is set up. So campaign, ad set, and ad. And so for level 1, the campaign's only job is to pick that goal. That's it. So you're basically telling Facebook, this is what I want the user to actually do. So if you pick the wrong goal, Facebook is going to send the wrong people. And this is a real thing, right? This is the real thing. And this is why a lot of us, when we first get started, we choose a campaign goal that doesn't require us to set up a custom conversion, which we'll talk about in a second. And so you're only sending people who click, or you're only sending people who look. You're not sending people who buy or convert, right? And that makes a big deal because Facebook does exactly what you tell it to do. It sends the traffic exactly who you set it to do. So there are only 3 goals that we use, or I guess there's only 3 goals that I use. The first goal is a lead. The lead gets their name, email, and phone number, gets them into Momentum HQ. Remember, my goal when I run ads is to get them off of Facebook and into my email list. That's what I want them to do, is get off Facebook, a platform that I don't control, and into my email list, a platform that I do control. 100% of the time, I control what happens in my email. The second goal is to get them to buy something, a class or a deposit, or get them to buy something, get them to purchase something on your website. And then the third goal, and I use this sparingly, is engagement. I use this to get them to send me a message on Facebook, or what I really like using it for is I always have a like campaign out there to get new likes on Facebook, right? And so, as I'm growing my audience, I want my audience to follow me. I want to grow my likes on Facebook. I literally have a $5 a day campaign just getting likes all the time. So when you're choosing the goal, your lead campaign, right? Your lead here, what it does is it finds people who fill out forms all the time. This is an important point. The lead's objective does not get people to fill out a form. The lead objective finds people who fill out forms on a regular basis. Now, the problem with that is that the people who fill out forms on a regular basis may not be the same people who make a purchase, but they darn well will go to your website and fill out a form, and Facebook knows the people who will do that. And so when you run a lead ad, you are sending your ad to people who will fill out forms, who have a history with Facebook to fill out forms. So that's best for getting student signups, RSVPs, without them paying. It's really important to know. It's good to find people who will sign up for forms without them paying. Your sales objective, Facebook is going to put your ad in front of people who will find people who pull out their credit card. So if you want to sell a class instantly, that's a good idea. And then engagement. Facebook puts your ads in front of people who like, comment, like to send instant messages on DM, right? Starting chats is really secondary to growing your page. Now, leads and sales can kind of be interchangeable. So if I am running an ad and my first step is to get an RSVP without somebody spending any money, I won't run the lead one, because if the second step is driving conversions and driving a sale, I'll actually use the sale conversion and I will optimize for the sale itself, not the lead, right? Here's a live example of what I mean by that. So we're going to pull up Sean's 2A day account, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that. So in Sean's account for Saddle River, Sean has built a really good Second Amendment Day. And on step 1 of his Second Amendment Day, he's got people entering their name, email, and phone number. And so running this as a lead campaign on Facebook is appropriate, because the people who enter their name, email, and phone number on step 1 are producing a lead. They are not required to pay at this point. In fact, they're not required to pay at all. So at this point, running a lead campaign is appropriate, because all they're doing is submitting a form. Their name, email, and phone number, they're becoming a lead. But then on this page, Sean has an opportunity for them to lock in their VIP package, which gets them all this great value, including this shirt. And then they can come down here and they can actually pay $47. Now, Sean has 2 choices when running this ad. He can either set it up so that we're tracking the cost per lead, which is the way that it's set up right now. We're tracking how many leads actually sign up. Or he can run ads as a sale campaign, and he can track how many people actually fill out this form rather than the first form. Now, on a new campaign like this, I like to do lead forms so that I'm giving the algorithm a lot more information than it would get from the sales itself. So a lot more people are going to be submitting this form than they are the second form. So with Sean's new Facebook account, Facebook ads account, I want to send the pixel as much data as I can to the closest match that we can. So I have it running to this form instead of the other one. But it is important to understand that if I had a lot of data, like on my account, I would probably run that account differently. I would probably run directly to a sales campaign and optimize for the sale instead of optimizing for the lead. Because The people who fill out forms on Facebook are different than people who fill out leads on Facebook, right? It is a different audience. And so you really want to optimize for the people who are going to do, this format. So now we're going to talk about what a conversion. A conversion is when a user does the thing. That's it. A conversion is when a user does the thing. So if they fill out a form, that's a conversion. If they buy your Saturday class, that's a conversion. If they send you a message, that's a conversion. And again, in the case of Sean here, is when they fill out this form, that's a conversion. And so when we look at Sean's ads for Saddle River, which we're just going to pull up here real quick. Let's pull up Sean's Saddle River. Here's Sean's ads. And what I'm going to do when I'm looking at my ads, the first button that I like to click is had delivery. And what that's going to do is it's going to show me only the ads that had delivery in my timeline right here, right? So when I'm in the Facebook ads account and I click had delivery, I'm basically saying, all right, in this timeline, which ads had delivery? And there are two of them. I'm not looking at the New Shooter Accelerator right now, and this cost per acquisition is really high. We need to run new ads, but I'm looking at our cost per result on our 2-a-day sign up. So right now, by default, I'm on the campaign level. And when I click this, it brings me to the ad set level automatically. You guys see that? So I click on 2-a-day sign up. It brings me to the ad set level. And then I click here. It brings me to the ad level. And the ad level just needed to be refreshed because it just glitched out. So what we're seeing here is that Sean has had 15 people say, yes, I'm in. I want to RSVP for this event. So his cost per result is $3.25. So his cost per acquisition, Facebook calls it cost per result, I call it cost per acquisition, is $3.25. So every time Sean gives Facebook $3.25, Facebook gives him a new person that is registered for his 2A day. And he has 15 people signed up right now. Now that is different from the amount of people who have actually upgraded to VIP. That's much different. To get that number, we should be able to see stats. But yesterday it was glitched out, so I don't know that I can trust this number. Sean, I did redo that page yesterday, so I'm hoping that this is accurate. But that means of the 15 people that registered, actually, this is showing 30 people that's registered, so there might be even more of an issue. But that means he's spending, his cost per acquisition is like $1.50, right? So every time he gives Facebook $1.50, somebody else says they're coming to his range for this event. The way that Facebook understands what a conversion pixel is, the way that Facebook understands what a conversion is by a method basically where if the user, and guys, you can still see me, right? Yep. So if we have the funnel listed like this is our funnel. This is our step 1 of the funnel. This is our step 2 of the funnel. This is our step 3 and then step 4, right? So what Facebook is doing is when somebody lands on step 1 and they make it to step 2, at that point, that's when Facebook says, I see that this person converted, right? That's when Facebook says, I see this person converted, is when they go from step 1 to step 2, Facebook says, I see that this person converted. And the only way for Facebook to know that is that when you're looking at your browser, in your browser at the top where you type www, right? Where you type that right here. That's your URL. Facebook is looking for keywords that you set, a sequence of letters that you set in the URL. And when Facebook sees step 1, traffic on step 1, go to a different URL, as long as that different URL has that sequence of letters and numbers in it, it says, okay, that person went from here to here. They have now converted into what it is that my advertiser wants. Okay. This is a really, really important concept for us to understand, is what a conversion is. So if you have questions, I want you to write your question down right now so that we can add these questions at the end and really nail this, because this concept, I do not want to move on from today's lesson unless you guys know what a conversion is, right? Again, a conversion is the thing. And to see it on Sean's campaign here, if this is Sean's funnel, right? Sean's funnel is drawn out. It's like this. So here's the Facebook ad. Here is step 1, 2, and 3. So when people land on step 1 of the funnel, this is the URL that people see. It says celebration right here. Right here, it says celebration. So when I load this in a new tab, what you see is the word celebration right there. Now, Facebook can see the people on this page. It can see the traffic. And so when that person converts by entering their name, email, and phone number, they then land on this page here, this step. And when that occurs, this URL is now in the browser window. See, look, when I load this page, this URL is now in the browser window. So Facebook recognizes that when it sees this URL, that the person has converted. That is how it knows what a conversion is. And so the next slide here is what a custom conversion is that this is what we have told Facebook is our conversion. This is what we've said. This is our conversion. I've created a custom one because Facebook has its own internal conversions, but I've created a custom one to tell Facebook this is what to look for. So you have to teach Facebook what a win looks like for your business. And we do this in Events Manager. This is not something we're going to cover today, but it is important to understand that a custom conversion is a simple rule that you create to tell Facebook, hey, when people land on this page, this is a conversion for me. So when someone lands on my thank you page, that's a class sale, right? That's what we tell Facebook. So now Facebook knows exactly who bought that item or who converted, and then it's actually going to find more people just like them. That's why you see a little learning tab on your Facebook ad account. In fact, let's see if Sean still says learning. That's why you see on the ad set level under delivery, okay, his is no longer learning. He's got enough to exit learning mode. Let's see if I've got a learning ad right now going on in my account, my poor neglected account. Sorry, we're gonna move this over here. My poor neglected account, I don't see any learning. No, I don't see, it's taking forever. Oh yeah, so I do have ad sets that are learning. My Dallas ads are learning. So what that's doing is it's saying, I'm learning who is engaging with this ad. I'm learning who a conversion is. Now, if you guys are finding your ads to be in learning mode instead of active or learning limited, the action that you should take is nothing. It's just a way to know what your status is of your ad. But it's learning who a conversion is so it can add more of the same people into that funnel. And so that said, we're going to talk about the Facebook Pixel now. Facebook Pixel sounds fancy, but all it is a tiny piece of code that you put on your website. And it acts like a little security camera for your business. It watches who visits. It watches what they click on and what they buy. It watches and it reports everything right back to Facebook. So if you don't have a pixel, Facebook is just guessing. And then if you have your pixel in too many places, Facebook is not getting the right data at all. When I first started Facebook ads, okay, I put my pixel on every website that I own. And so I was telling the website that all these people were going to this, and it was just too much data. So I didn't have specificity in my audience. I then had to build a completely different ad account. Your Facebook pixel should only be on pages which you're running paid ads to, period. Your pixel should not be on all your websites. It should not be on all your landing pages. It should only be on pages that you run traffic that is paid to. Only traffic that's paid to. If you want your pixel to know about traffic that is organic, well, that's cool. But then what you need to do is you need to run a separate pixel to that. So to show you what the pixel looks like, we're going to go back to Sean's campaign here. And I'm going to show you, this is the pixel. This code right here is your pixel. That's what this is. So when you're in Momentum HQ and you go to settings, you go to tracking and scripts, your head tracking code, this is your pixel. This is all it is. This is what people say when they say a Facebook pixel. They're talking about this little amount of code right here. That's what a Facebook pixel is. And what it does is it sends traffic back, it sends data back to Facebook about what is happening on your website. That's what a Facebook pixel is. And so the pixel is basically like a student itself, because inherently on day one, it doesn't know anything about you or your business. Then on day 30, it might have seen about 500 people. And what it does is it looks at all those 500 people and it says, what do these 500 people all have in common? And it comes out with a list of like 100,000 things that all these 500 people all have in common. And then it looks for other people that have 100,000 things, those 100,000 things in common as well. And it starts to see patterns. So that at day 90, it knows exactly who's a buyer and who's a browser, who's the tire kicker and who's the actual buyer. This is why you have to install the pixel today, even if you're not running ads. You have to install the pixel on any page that you are going to run paid traffic to. Let it learn. The longer it runs, the cheaper your leads get. So choosing your campaign objective. Okay, so we've got our pixel installed. It's time to start our first ad. We're going to talk about choosing your campaign objective. When you click create a campaign, Facebook is going to show you 6 options. Let me show you those 6 options. So here are the 6 options. I come over to Facebook and I click create a campaign. These are the 6 options: awareness, traffic, engagement, leads, app promotion, and sales. And for us, the only thing that matter, never, never, never. Engagement, sometimes we're going to run ads. We're basically going to live in leads and sales. That's what we're going to live. And so when you think about how this is going to work, awareness, we skip it. Those are for big businesses, Coca-Cola, Pepsi. They don't care about their direct response. They don't care about their conversion. Traffic, same thing, just a fancier way to say awareness, right? Traffic gets people off the website, off Facebook. Awareness keeps them on, I guess. And then engagement, right? So engagement, I use sparingly for DMs, like direct messages, and page likes, right? For instance, I've got an ad running at all times. This is not how I get the vast majority of my likes, but I do have a campaign running at all times for page likes, right? So I have 231 page likes right now that I have generated in the last 30 days from my USCCA ad, which is basically an ad just to get people to follow the page, right? This is, it basically says, if you're using the USCCA, you should run people to your website instead of yours, your website instead of theirs, right? So I spent $147 in the last 30 days. That's only 233 likes, right? And so that's not the vast majority of how my likes come to my page. The vast majority are through organic, but I like to keep this targeted because this is targeting to firearm instructors, right? And how you can tell it's targeting firearm instructors is because I have a frame around the video that says firearm instructors follow. And so I only want firearm instructors to follow, right? And so that's my engagement campaign. Most of the time I'm in leads or sales. App promotion is not us. Traffic and awareness is not us. So you're at that point, you're going to pick your goal and you're going to click continue. So then we're at level 2, the ad set. Remember, this is who sees our ad and how much they spend. So who sees our ad is our location, age, interests. That's where we would set this. How much we spend, our daily budget and our lifetime budget. You're going to decide, do you want to have a daily budget or do you want to run this as a lifetime, right? So a set period with a set amount of money that you're going to spend. The reason I am not a fan of lifetime is that if the ad is working, I don't want it to end. So I always use daily budget. But if you just want to say, I can only spend $500, that's when you're using your lifetime budget. This is also where you choose your placements and conversion location. We'll talk about that in a little bit, okay? So conversion locations. In fact, I'm going to just show this in the ad. It's just a little bit easier to show it in the ad, okay? So we go to create a new ad, and we're going to go to the campaign level, and we're going to create a new ad. This is where I get my 6 levels here. I'm going to say, you know what? We're going to do a sales campaign because I want to sell something. So then I hit continue. So now I'm on the campaign level. This is where I would name my campaign. Campaign 1 for video. my campaign details here. Okay, it's not a live video ad. Live video ad is not good for us because this is good for like if you're selling garments and apparel, you can actually run a live video ad. You can run an ad for a live video that you're running so that you can get more people to your live video, but very risky for us because we're in the gun world. Not a great thing for us to do. But then we go to our campaign details. We're always in the auction. We don't want to do a reservation. We always want to do an auction. And here are our objectives if we want to change that, but we've already chosen sales. A catalog ad, again, not something we run because what that's doing is going to your website and pulling up a list of your products. We don't run that, so we have that off by default. And then campaign budget and ad set budget. I'm going to talk about what that is in a second. But for my next part, what we need to look at is our life cycle strategy in our conversion location, right? So our life cycle strategy on our ad set level, basically, I like to set it to acquire new customers so that my ads aren't going to the same people over and over and over. This is actually a new feature that Facebook has just created so that I want to generate a list of people who have never come here before. So I tell it that I want to exclude specific audiences, right? Audiences that I've built. So for us, if you're a new account, you're not super seasoned like mine, just go ahead and get conversions for all audiences. I like to live and acquire new customers. From here, we're going to talk about the conversion location, and we have a bunch of different options. We can choose multiple, so we have multiple opportunities for a conversion, which is what Facebook wants you to do by default, or single. I always choose single. Never do I want multiple message destinations. The only reason Facebook suggests multiple destinations for your conversion location is because you will have more conversions. And so it will look like you have better results and cheaper acquisition costs. But it only benefits Facebook, not you. So for almost every time we do ads, we will choose single conversion, and it will be a website. Because our destination is not on Facebook, it is a website. So our performance goal by default is maximize number of conversions. That's what we want. Your data set is the actual pixel that you're using. That's what you want. And then your conversion event. This should be the custom conversion that you set up, which again, we will not be talking about on today. But for instance, if I launched a new workshop, so I have if that's the new ad that I want to set up, that's the custom conversion, right? So a custom conversion are the conversions that you set up, but Facebook has their default ones like view content, upsell, purchase, lead, submit application, or any number of inactive ones that they've got there, okay? So that's what you do to set up your custom conversion. Again, ask questions, write them down so that we have time for questions. We've got 5 minutes left. So Facebook's going to ask, where do you want the conversion to happen? It's going to be on your website, or where do they message, or on Instagram or Facebook, depending on if you want them to like your page, or phone calls directly to your business from your ad. I am not a fan of phone calls because too much can go wrong between the point that the click was made and the call was initiated, and your team may not answer. So for me, if calls are the objective, it's too much friction and I may not get any value out of it, because unless that person calls and I get their name, email, and phone number, I don't get their data. I don't get to follow up with them. That's why I want website as my number one primary thing. My conversions will almost always occur on my website. And when we say website, we mean funnel, but that's what it means. So most of the time we choose website. But if you want DMs, you want to be bothered by the DMs that are, low quality, choose messaging destinations. Okay. So conversion location, this is really what we just talked about, is what we just showed on the screen. So I'll go past this slide here. Now, on the campaign level, when you're choosing a campaign, at the very bottom, you have this section here, choosing whether you want to run ads for special ad categories. A special ad category being social issues, elections, or politics. In Sean's case, Sean's ad, and I'll just play Sean's ad for you, required that we have turned on social issues, elections, or politics, which actually surprised me a little bit. But I'll explain why here in a second when I show you Sean's ad. So Sean's ad for 2A day, and by the way, Sean, I need you to make more ads for 2A day because this ad is killing it, which means we want to continue that momentum. We can increase our budget once we have more people, once we have more ads. But this is Sean's ad right now.
Hey guys, this is Sean over at Saddle River Range. I'm inviting you to come join us in celebrating our country's 250th anniversary and National 2A Day on June 27th. We're going to have live music, we're going to have food, some great giveaways and sales. Click the link below to RSVP and upgrade to your VIP package. You're not going to want to miss this. We'll see you on the 27th. Hey
Okay.
guys, this is Sean.
Fantastic ad. But the reason that this is, even though it doesn't have guns in it, it's because this is directly a social issue. It's the Second Amendment Day. It's the 250th anniversary of America. So Facebook is saying, hey, even though it doesn't have any guns in it, I still classify it as a social issue, an ad about social issues, elections, or politics. And Facebook actually denied Sean's ad. They made us do ads about social issues, elections, or politics, where that surprised me because it doesn't have any guns in it. But if you're running ads that are heavy with guns in them, I would run it as an ad that's social issues, elections, and politics. Or if it is an election, social, or voting issue or anything like that, run it as an ad with social issues, elections, or politics. The more ad denials you get, the more likely they kill your ad account. You've got to start over. So we don't want that to happen. When in doubt, go with social issues, elections, or politics. But if you're not seeing a lot of guns in it and it's not a social issue, you're just advertising a gun class, that's usually okay to run without the social issues, elections, or politics. When in doubt, turn it on. Okay. We did not get through my entire PowerPoint for today. I have tons more in this PowerPoint, but we're going to be doing this as a series. I have a set amount of information I want to get through in order for you to run ads on Facebook. And I will not stop this series until that set information is gone to you. But that said, I do want to open up the floor for questions.
Quick question. So, Andy, again, new to this, just playing around yesterday. I just created a quick ad and just probably ran it yesterday from 2 p.m. to supposed to end today, just seeing what happened. So two things happened. One, I got about 16 additional followers to my Facebook page, all local in this area. But I got several DMs from people in Texas. No clue what I did wrong there.
Did you boost the post or did you create it in Facebook Ads Manager?
I may have boosted it. Like I
Okay.
said, no clue what I was doing yet. I may have boosted it.
Yeah, no, totally. Listen, I totally get that we want to test the features on this, but boosting a post doesn't give you the options that you need. So boosting a post is not what you want to do ever for any reason, ever. It is only going to benefit Facebook, not your business.
Okay.
So while it is fun to do and it's fun to see the 16 followers and things like that, it is not going to give you the options that you need to actually run ads. Ad running is a science. Boosting is a shotgun, right? So ad running is like firing, an AR-15 at a target, a football field away that's this big and you want it to be perfect, but if you just want to fire off some rounds and shoot some clay birds, right, and get lucky, like you use the shotgun approach. So I would not boost. I would only run ads from the ads manager. Go ahead, Mark.
He could have set his location wrong too. That happened to me when I first started doing it. My ads were running all over the country because I didn't set the location the way you said in the original video.
Yeah, and when you are boosting the post, that setting is actually going to be hidden a little bit. Whereas when you are running ads inside the Facebook Ads Manager, that setting is front and center, right? So on the ad set level, remember the ad set level is who, and location is a factor of who. That's where we choose our location right here in the center, right? And by the way, when you're first looking at this and you're looking at the location, it looks like you can't change it, but this section has an edit button that appears when you mouse over it. So when I bring my mouse right here, the edit button appears. So then I can hit edit and I can actually edit the place that I want to. Now, by default, this button is checked. And because Sean's ads are working, I'm not going to change it. However, always unselect this button that says reach more people likely to respond to your ads. And it says also show ads to people who are interested in or near this location. It's going to, in fact, I don't want to touch Sean. Sean, I'm not going to touch your ad. I'm going to disable my changes, but I would always turn this off. Even though Facebook gives you a big warning, they want your delivery pool to be bigger because that's how they make more money. So I'm going to hit discard drafts and I'm not going to save my changes. Okay. So now that you have boosted the post though, Jason, you can go to the Facebook Ads Manager. To get there, you just go to facebook.com/ads manager and you can see the boosted post in there. And on the ad set level, you should be able to adjust who saw your ad.
Perfect.
Or who's going to see your ad.
So can
Yeah.
I ask a question about email?
Murph, let's go to Murph and then we'll go to JB.
Sure.
A quick one. So when we set up our custom conversion, I've done it two ways, and I can't remember which way you said is best. So when we go into the sites, we have however many pages in the funnel, right? Do you set the custom conversion to go to the landing page or to the thank you page?
The custom conversion should never be on the landing page because the conversion doesn't occur until somebody has made it past the landing page. So if this is your funnel, right, the custom conversion only occurs when somebody has left this page and landed on this page. They've gone from here to here. So this
So
is
you
where
don't-
your custom conversion is, not here.
So you don't use the thank you page, the confirmation page as the conversion.
You can, if you only want to track. So if I want to track leads, which is what this one is, when they go from here to here, they're a lead. But the only way for them to get from this step to this step is if they buy. So I
Right,
have
so
two choices. I can run a lead conversion here, or I can run a sale conversion here. You can run either or.
So all my ads are sales conversions, and I might have 3, 4, 5 steps depending on how many upsells, but they can buy on the landing page because they have the one-step order on the first page. So I have my custom conversions going to the confirmation page because they can go to the, you know what I mean? They can make a purchase, but how's it going to track the purchase unless
So
we have that
when you're
custom conversion
running,
going?
give me an example.
Go to BFS. Go to BFS.
Okay. So when
And,
which one?
For
Oh, well, this
the
is the
next one
funnel,
below.
right? Yeah.
Yeah,
All
this
right.
fine. This
So
is fine. This one's fine.
when this person goes from here to here, they have to make a purchase, right?
No. Yes. Sorry. Yes.
Okay. So
Yep,
if they have
yep,
to make a
they do.
purchase from here to here, what I would do is I would fire the pixel. I would fire the conversion right here. Is Murph is if they don't get here and they don't get here, they never land on these pages. Well, I still want my conversion pixel to fire.
Okay.
So
Okay.
even though it would be best but not 100% of people go all the way to the end. And so
Right.
that's why I would fire the conversion on the next page after the sale.
So I've been using, and this is, I don't want to step on JB's next question, but I use that same bottom page BFS enrollment dash confirmation in the pixel, and then it's looking for confirmation, and then whatever comes after it could be so a whole bunch of different funnels use that in the pixel. Am I making sense?
No.
The pixel's looking for BFS enrollment dash confirmation, not necessarily dash Jim's Market. In the pixel you can set up any of
Yep.
in actually in Facebook.
So it's
Right,
looking
so
for this word.
Yeah, if you go back to just go back one time, up top, go back. No, back out of this one, go to a different
Oh,
funnel. Now go to the one below it. So you see my conversion page is going to be the same, BFS enrollment dash confirmation. So the pixel's looking for that
The
confirmation.
pixel is looking for the word confirmation.
I should just either put that confirmation in the second page somewhere or
Yeah,
set up a new
I would
pixel for each ad.
all I would do is I would just put dash confirmation here.
Okay.
I would just do that. And then the second thing that I would do is remove it from here. And the reason that you want to remove it from here is because
Yep,
you don't
so-
want to track two conversions, right? But by bringing it higher up, your conversions inside of Facebook are going to be a little bit more accurate because some people will not make it all the way to the end.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yep. No, great question. This is exactly what I want out of this series. Go ahead, JB.
So as you know, we've been after this for some time, and sometimes the email address gets us in trouble. And so we are old school gun school, which I thought was pretty cool. Everybody wants the t-shirts and the public seems to like it, but it has the word gun in it. And so sometimes that doesn't fly through Google and Facebook and other things because it has gun in it. Decided to do another version of that to get the word gun out of our name. Instead of old school gun school, we have old school USA, which doesn't say anything about guns. Thinking that the prospects we have when they meet me at a show someplace, then they know I'm old school gun school and fine. If I have some other name, then they're not going to open my email because who the hell am I? And so Old School USA, if you came to do business with Old School Gun School and you got an email from Old School USA, you'd probably think of the link and open it up. Is that an okay idea? Am I on the right track with this Old School USA? Not a
Yeah,
request,
I don't think that's going to move the needle for you, but if you guys feel better about doing that, then, I don't see anything wrong with it. You know what I mean? The thing that I want you guys to spend time on are things that are going to really get you to a point where you are moving the needle with your business. I don't feel like that's a constraint, but obviously if you are, if you're seeing a whole bunch of, denials, like, then we need to do that,
Well, we'll wait and see, I guess. I don't want to make changes we don't need to make, and I just trust what we're doing here, so I'm going to follow the program.
No, I appreciate that. And yeah, if you're seeing denials and you need it, then use it. But if not, I don't think that would move a needle on Facebook ads.
Okay.
What else we got?
I got a question. Can you change settings mid-campaign, or is that not a good idea?
Okay, if it's working, it's a bad idea. Don't change anything. The way to scale is duplication, not change. Okay, so if you're running a Facebook ad and it's working, don't change anything. Duplicate what's working and leave the one that's working alone, right? That's how we scale, is we just add more versions of what's working. But if something is not working, then, of course, feel free to change. In your case, what would you change? And do you have a specific case set, or?
Well, like you said, the social, some of my stuff is not getting approved or coming back, and then like it's not running for a day, and then I got to go through the review process. That almost comes up on every ad I run. A lot of my texts that get sent out through the automations have the word pistol permit. So pistol seems to be the hit that nobody's getting any of my messages.
You cannot use, so shaft, sex, hate, alcohol, firearms, and tobacco. There's a list of words that you cannot use. Pistol is one of them. So when I send a text that it says firearm, because there are texts that I need the word firearm in it, like my Dallas workshop is the Firearm Instructors Growth Accelerator. I want that word firearm in it. I make a typo. I say fire R and then the M and then a space and then the M. If you don't mind having a typo, I don't mind, then do that. But if not, exclude the word pistol. As far as changes on the ad campaign, if you're getting a bunch of disapprovals, immediately you should be running social issues, elections, and politics for all your ads. You don't want to lose your account. So immediately switch to that. Kim, the shaft, sex, hate, alcohol, firearms, tobacco. Shaft, sex, hate, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. Yeah, Murph, go ahead.
I was just going to say to Stephen, I use P and then the number 1, STOLS, or F1RE. So I just use 1 instead of the I, and that always gets through.
Yeah, good idea.
Andy, I got a quick question. You hear me?
Yeah, Charlie.
Hey, okay, talking about pixels. What if you had on the landing page where you had an option to either go to page 2 or page 3, not 2 and 3? All right, could you have a pixel to pick it up if it goes, or if it goes to 2, or if it goes to 3?
Yeah, but it sounds like that would be a custom conversion, 2 separate custom conversions, right?
Okay.
Is that, give me a use case.
Okay, like let's say I wanted to go to a sign up for or information on a concealed carry class, or go to a simulation class or simulator class.
Yeah, so that's a better use case for a website. So if you've got a website, it makes sense for you to have multiple options. But in a funnel, one option, one goal, one problem, one solution. So you should have one funnel for simulator and one funnel for, whatever the other option is.
Carry, right.
Yeah. Now, if you want to give your students a choice of which version that they're going to sign up for, then that should be either a product or some sort of drop down on the sign up, not a completely separate step, right? So if it's because you want somebody to choose, like, are they going to go the path of the simulator, or they're going to go the path of Livefire? Like, that's what I want them to choose. They can choose that in a product selection, or they can choose that in a drop down on a form that they're signing up for, in the calendar or on a form. But I would definitely not have separate pages for that, unless you are sending separate traffic for simulator versus range. Then that's 2 separate campaigns.
No,
Your
it's
funnel
two
should do
separate
one thing.
funnels.
Yeah.
2 separate
Yeah.
funnels.
Separate funnel.
And campaigns, yeah.
Yeah. Great question.
All right. I got
All right, guys, we have time for one more question. Murph.
I got a tech question not related to this, so yeah, I don't know if you have time for it.
Yeah, dive in.
What's that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm on my emails. I'm trying to get TPS Method Tactical out of the headline as the sender, and I've done everything it says to do, and it's still going. I've gone at the business profile and taken TPS Method Tactical out. I've gone into the email builder in the email section and changed the from name, and it's still not showing right. Because I'm sending emails for the gym, and I don't want the tactical name on the gym ones.
All right, give me an
search-
email here.
Shouldn't we be an email builder?
Well, I'm in your previous sent
we're looking for TPS method. If you search for TPS method, it wouldn't have been a campaign. It would have been a direct email.
Okay, so it would have been a bulk email.
Yeah,
ad?
in the workflow campaign. In a workflow campaign.
Oh, it was
in
in
the
an
middle.
automation. Okay. All right.
Yep.
All right.
So
show me
go
where.
to the gym where I can't. It's behind your head, but there's like TPS gym workflows or something. Yeah, TPS gym. Hit that.
This one here. Here, let me
Try the-
move this over so it's not behind me.
Right there on the bottom. TPS method member workflow.
Okay.
All right. So
And this email
Well,
right here.
yeah, all of them. But the very first email, I've gone into the settings.
Okay. So you're from email. Just do this. That's it.
It wouldn't let me do that. I don't. So I wanted to say TPS method from as the name. I don't care what the email says.
Got it.
What's coming through is TPS method tactical, and that's nowhere in the settings that I could find.
All right. What's your email address?
Murph@totalperformancesports.com.
All right. Go take a look at that one. See if that's correct.
Nope, says TPS method tactical at the top.
Okay. So this is a limitation. It goes back to our previous conversation. This is a limitation of the system. And so our previous conversation about having 2 accounts, I think it's probably best. If you're dead set on that, it's likely that you need 2 accounts.
I just can't find where it says TPS method tactical anywhere. It's not in my settings.
Well, share your screen.
No, it's not.
Show me on the
it's
email.
not-
Show me on the email.
So when I go into the settings, right, see right here? Can you see that where it says TPS method tactical? When you're over here in my sign
Yep.
on the
okay.
side, I just want that to say TPS method, right? But TPS method tactical isn't anywhere in my settings, right? So when I go, let's pull this up real quick. So I go to business profile, it just says TPS MT. When I go into the emails, oh, wait a minute. No,
No,
where's
you know
my
what?
email?
I know where you're coming from. Go to settings on the left, very bottom, and then go into email services, and then click on view dedicated domain on the right. It's like a button on the right hand side. Zoom might be over it. Yeah.
I think Zoom's over it. Yep, stand by. Dedicated domain and IP.
Yep. And then hit the 3 buttons on the left hand side of this. Yep. And then click set headers. That's where it's coming from.
So that should be fixed.
That's it.
You're the berries, dude. Thank you.
Yep, no worries. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys joining. I want you guys, if you have other questions, to put them in the general chat. That way we can end on time here. And I look forward to serving you a little bit more with Facebook ads next week also.